I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown!
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to my top 100 games of all time as of 2019. With me, as always, my superstar hubby, Hunter. And today, we are going to talk about my 100 to 91. And as I said before, if you haven't seen the live preview video, just because it's at the bottom of my 100 list does not mean that I do not like this game, that I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel or anything else. We were talking about how many hundreds / thousands some games that we've been playing, and it's like everything on the list is gold. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No excuses, no caveats. Forge ahead.
What is this nonsense? But it is on. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. So, just a little bit beforehand, to make Hunter sad, I have 7 games that have dropped. I have 1 game that has gone up significantly. And then I have 2 new games.
Okay.
So.
The land of the dropsies.
Yeah, this is, again, there's been a lot of topsy-turvy stuff going on with my list this year. So.
All right.
So my number 100 was my 161 last year.
Oh, dear.
And I think because of our resolution and a more recent play, reminded me of just how good and solid this game was, and it brought it back up, right? And that is our friend Village. I don't know why this game always like sneaks through the cracks and is never as high up for me, but it's a really unique worker placement game in that your workers age and die, so you have to plan on that. They actually have a lifespan, so when you go and put them on the board, you've got to remember that eventually you may have to remove them from the board and put them in this little graveyard, which is kind of funky, but it also has stuff to help you contribute to the end game and all sorts of stuff like this, right? There's also these plague cubes, and you use different colored cubes to do different actions, and so you're collecting those to do your actions. And there's a lot going on with it. I really love how different this is from your typical worker placement game. And it was fun to replay this again and relive it and realize, yeah, once again, still a really good, solid game. So I'm curious. This one's on your list.
Yes, it is.
Where is it?
45.
See, I knew this was going to be on your list. You
Yeah,
really
I was pretty weirded out last year when you totally punitated it down off your list. Because I don't know, it's just kind of it's like just this nice little smooth Euro game.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It plays great 2-player. It doesn't take that long. It's 90 minutes or less, for sure.
60 to 90.
Yeah, it probably takes us an hour.
Yeah,
it takes us an hour. It's super fun. So, if you haven't had a chance to play this, it's I don't remember what year this came out. Do you? It was only a few years ago.
No, it was reprinted, I thought.
2015 is when it got reprinted.
I think it came out.
It says 2011 was the first copy.
Yeah. It came out in Europe.
Came out a while ago.
Europe in 2011. It came to the U.S. Stronghold brought the U.S. in 2015.
Yeah. So it's not that old.
Maybe.
It's not that old, and it's still holding strong, I think. So if you haven't played it, you should give it a shot.
It's the Famous Brands.
The Famous Brands?
Board game designers.
Oh, yes. The actual brands. I thought you were like saying brand, like brand name or something. And I was like, no, it is. It's the brands. So, fun game. My number 100 this year. My number 99 actually hasn't moved that much. It was 92 last year.
Okay.
So it took a little dip. And I think that's about right. And that is for the fun little game that is Royals. Now this game, you're kind of doing worker placement stuff too, but it's all about, it's more of an area control game. And also on the side of this map, you've got this map and you've got different dukes and duchesses and queens and kings and stuff in these areas that you're trying to take over. But also on the side, not only are you trying to do these regions, but you're also keeping track of how many of the princesses and dukes and kings and stuff you have. So it's like, it's the type of person that you have control of and their area, and there's different sets of victory points associated with them. And you can, what's the euphemism? We laugh about it, but if you remove someone from another place, they go to church. Was that what it was?
They go off to church, like at the church or something.
They go to church. We know what really happens.
They go to the graveyard.
Yeah, they get killed. You know you killed them. They were assassinated. But yeah, we go to church, okay? And then so it's really fun. It's pretty cutthroat. It can be really cutthroat. It's really fun because it's that area control. But you know that going into it, it's a pretty lighter game. It's not super heavy, but there is a lot of stuff going on. You are tracking two different things. You are tracking the area control map, and then you're also controlling, seeing how well you are controlling each different member of royalty. So again, it's called Royals, and it's actually pretty quick to learn and quick to play. I want to say this is another one that's in that sweet spot that is, 60 minutes. And that's probably a little bit less for us, just playing it 2-player. But we have played it with 2-player and multiplayer, and it was fun at both counts. So it's another one of those really well-rounded games. And I think this is a Dice Tower Essentials. And I think that was a good pick on their part.
I'm not sure if it still is. When we bought it, it was. I'm not sure if it still is. I can't remember.
It always is.
Okay.
It's forever.
I can't remember if they still have the rights to it or not.
Oh, okay. Well, as of the date of this box purchase, it was a Dice Tower Essential. So whether they have it or not anymore, it's still a cool game. Go get it. Go play it.
So,
or at least go play
I got tired of looking. I don't think it's on my list, but I gave up.
You got tired of looking at it?
Yes. So looking through 200 games takes a little while.
So you punished it because you just got lazy, is what you're saying.
I don't see it on my list anywhere. I mean, I could really scan through it.
No, you're fine. I'm just messing with
I don't think it's on my list.
It might not be because it is lighter. And you tend to really like
I think I rated
games.
it a 7, and I didn't even look.
So it wouldn't have been on
I didn't even put 7s on my list to sort.
So there you go.
I think. Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
If you want to go and stalk his top 100 and make sure he's not screwing that up, go ahead.
It's definitely not my top 100.
Okay. So my next game is a heavy hitter, and it dropped. It was number 64 last year. And I think it got punished somewhat because it hasn't been played in quite a while. And I think there's just a preponderance of really good games that came out of the games that we played this last year. So we may fluctuate a little bit in between. It was number 64 last year.
Was it?
It's 98.
What's that word you said again?
What, preponderance?
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. Anyway.
Are we in court?
I'm going to get him a dictionary for Christmas next year. So.
Oh, wow.
Caverna.
What just happened?
I know. I think again, it got punished because of lack of plays, partly. This is a heavy hitter by Uwe Rosenberg, which is one of my favorite designers. He does really fantastic games.
Man.
And this is a fun game that's got kind of two parts to it. One part is that you've got your little dwarves, and they are doing this farming and ranching thing. And then on the other side, they've got all the caves, and they're mining and building rooms and that. So you're bouncing between the two, and in the meantime, when they have some free time, they go on adventures and level up and get cool free stuff to go in their farms or their mines. Super fun game. But again, as you can see by this monster box, it is chock full of pieces. It's chock full of wood and cardboard. If you do not have an insert for this game or some way to make this easier on yourself, I could see this being extremely hard to get to the table, because it was for us until we got the insert, because the setup is to the point where it just kind of prohibits you from wanting to play. It's just such a big deal. But we got the broken token insert, and that was a saving grace for this game, because now you just literally pull out the little tray, set it down, all the pieces are ready to go. So much better. I don't normally say, hey, you got a game, you should go buy a bunch of extra stuff for it. But if you like this game and you like to play it with any frequency, that is a lifesaver, getting that insert. Because, I mean, I can even show you some of it. That's how nice this is. So all the cardboard
boards
on top.
An affront to board gaming.
Do you?
That you put this game this close to Cave versus Cave.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Well, maybe we should play them more. I'm just saying. So
Oh
all the
my
cardboard
gosh.
stuff just settles on the
Same
top.
is 1,000 times better.
Oh my goodness.
than
Anyway,
Caverna's Cave.
see this? This is the cool
Maybe
part.
not 1,000.
Boop. Here's the tray. All your pieces organized, ready to go. That's it. And then underneath, I'll kind of briefly show you here, but all of the little cards and rooms and everything are all organized by type. They're ready to go. You just pull them out. You don't need to do any sorting or setting up. You just have to set up the boards and stuff, which doesn't take any time at all. It is lovely. Look at this. Look at this. Oops. Hold on. Oh, what are you doing? Ah! There we go. There we go. That's it. Boom. And see? Look at how much. This would have been a 10-minute job if you didn't have the insert, and I would not have opened this box. So keep that in mind. But Caverna is a great game. It's solid. And I think, like Hunter said, if we play it more and stuff, it'll probably bounce back up somewhere in between my 64 and 98.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
This is my number 24. 24. How close is this to cave versus cave? How many places? Like 5?
Yeah.
How many places?
5.
Oh my gosh. That.
You okay?
I'm gonna have difficulty going on at this point.
The struggle's real, folks.
5 spaces from garbage to amazing.
Garbage! Just because it's a little bit past 100, it's garbage now. Oh,
No, it's garbage to me. I put like 100 places. More than that. I put almost 200 places between those two games.
Well, maybe we should play it more often and change my mind. There you go. Aha! My number 97 also dropped fairly significantly. And it may stay down here a little bit just because of its age and just the stuff that's come out the last few years. I have a feeling this may kind of stay kind of low, but I'm always going to love it regardless, and that is Lords of Waterdeep. We have it in our Scoundrels of Skullport box because we liked the box and it was newer and a little more stable, a little stabler. So we have the expansion with it. I recommend the expansion with it. This would be Lords of Waterdeep by itself, though, is a great introductory game if you want to get people into worker placement. This is a lot of people's go-to beginner game. So go for it. Try it. Scoundrels of Skullport adds a little bit of extra spice, a little oomph if you want to add more game to it, where you get these corruption tokens, which are -1 victory point or more, because they stack. But you get some crazy good resources and combinations, so it's kind of like a pushing your luck. Is it worth it to me to lose a little bit of victory points now to get all this great stuff in the off chance that I might be able to get rid of that corruption later? Or there are a few opportunities where you can turn that around to your corruption as victory points, which you did that one time, I think. Or take the hit and just see how you do. I mean, there's a lot of fun balance with that. Or do you avoid it altogether and just try to maintain and see if other people get ahead by using corruption? It's a fun choice to make. I like the game. Yeah, it's relatively themeless.
No, it's not.
But
I disagree.
But
It is oozing with theme.
is it now? Oozing. That's probably a good word for that picture. But there's a lot of fun if you are a fan of the whole D&D universe and everything. The flavor text and stuff is kind of fun to read while you're playing. So there is that, even though the theme is not that strong. I mean, come on now. The mages are like a white cube and the warriors are like an orange cube.
Use your imagination. That's what D&D is about.
Clearly. You have to use your imagination.
It's about 104, so I'm in the same kind of time zone.
Okay, so you just, you calm down over there.
I agree with you. It's great, but it's not that super great.
Oh, I see how it is. All right, my number 96 was my number 61, and I don't know where it's going to end up after this, because I think the reason it got punished is I don't have very many people that will play it very often with me anymore. Although you occasionally martyr yourself and play it with me, just to be nice.
Yes, just to be nice.
And because he loves me and is really awesome, Hunter created this massive box of doom for it for my birthday. It's Dominion. And you're like, I don't recognize this. That's because Hunter custom made like sanded down the inside of the box and everything. Let me make sure I have this the right way up. Okay, I do. Look at this beauty, folks. It's not every version of Dominion, but it's most of them. It's the ones that I wanted. And he even custom laminated little labels so that all my cards are organized. It's got all the rules in it. It's got the all the little extra nonsense that come with certain versions of the game. All the cool metal coins that mark the province and victory point stuff. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. But look at this. You carved all this out. It looks really good. And you put the insert thing in here so that all the cards would fit nicely. It turned out really cool. So what's neat is we like to play... I put all my Dominions together on my list because anymore we don't just say, oh, let's play Prosperity today or something. We mix all of them together. So that's why this looks like this. I mean, we can separate them out. You can tell which games they're from. They have markings and stuff, and the books tell you and all that good stuff. So if you really, really wanted to, we could separate them. But we don't. I like mixing them up. It's more fun that way. And the variability of play when you do it this way is ridiculous. We're never, ever going to have the same game again. This, in case you didn't know about Dominion, hopefully you do by now. But if you don't, this is like the granddaddy of all the deck builders. This is the deck builder game that started it all. This is the deck builder that started it for me. This is the one that kind of got me back into board gaming and was like, oh, there's more board games out there besides, Sorry and Monopoly and all those. It's kind of cool to see everything expand. So this is just, this will always have a special place in my heart. And I mean, look at this. It's awesome. How can I not play this? So
it's got a special place in my heart because they designed this insert to fit this box.
Really?
And then Hobby Lobby decided to make the box like 2 or 3 millimeters smaller.
Bless them, as they say in the South.
So I got to sand the inside of this box to make it big enough for the insert to fit it.
Yeah. So not only is it nice and smooth, but no, it's pretty amazing. Hunter made an awesome box.
It is not on my list.
What a shock. We're all shocked by this.
Dominion's alright. It's just alright.
He suffers from
I like my deck builder with a little meat and potatoes with it.
You've gotten to the point now where you don't want just a deck builder. You want it as an element to a game. And I totally get that. But sometimes I like to go back to the roots. And I like to just play a deck builder. And it's kind of... I don't want to say it's mindless because that's not the case with Dominion. There's too many different strategies and stuff to it. But it compared to having it as just an element in a deeper game, yeah, it is. It's a little bit lighter. So there. Is that.
That is that.
I love me some Dominion. So that's my number 96. And then we go from fairly light game to a really heavy game. This is my 95. It was my 52 last year, and this tanked to... I think this tanked because my mood has shifted somewhat on the super heavy games. I have to be in the mood to play them. And some of my games where I'm like, I have to be in the mood to play it, dropped a bit. And it's not that I like this game less. I don't know how to explain it, but the desire to play it has decreased a little bit. Because I still think it's an amazing game, and it's awesome, and I love the theme. And that is my buddy, Food Chain Magnate. This is a monster game. Okay, if you're looking, this is not going to follow my usual MO of loving the art, although I actually do like the art for this one. Splatter is very stark. This looks like... They threw it in a shirt box you can get at JCPenney's, and then they printed something on it. I'm not wrong. Okay? This box is not high quality or anything like that. And the art is something I actually really like. I like the style that they did because, and maybe...
I'm just going to watch you struggle to open that.
I see how you are. And maybe they did this to go cheap, but I like the way they did it because it's got that old, kind of 50s diner style to it or whatever, and they stuck with it, and I thought it was really well done. The map, hideous. I mean, I don't know if you can even see this because of the glare, but that is hideous.
Where's that? There we go.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Blech. It's ugly.
It's looking like a spreadsheet.
It looks like something I would draw, okay? And if you saw my drawings, you'd understand. It was like, not so much. But here's the cool part, okay? See my little individual player menu. Oh, yes. it's set up to look like a menu. What's really fun about that is it's got the order of how everything works on the turns, and then it's got the employee structuring. So what happens is you've got kind of a tech tree, but it's with the employees, and with trainings they can move up to management, or they're going to move on to different career paths, and there's all sorts of different stuff going on, which the timing of which is really important. So that's kind of cool. You have this in your menu. And then on the back, they have these bonuses that you can get each round. The only thing that's a little weird, and it's kind of hard to get used to with Food Chain Magnate too, is the bonuses. Once someone acquires a bonus, it's only available for that round. So you kind of need to play a little bit of see what your neighbor's up to, or they could run away with some very important bonuses because it's only available that one turn. So sometimes you feel like you're copycatting people, especially at the beginning of the game. And I don't know how much I like that part of it so much, because sometimes it's kind of fun to branch off.
But you can also have the strategy of, oh, she's going to get that one. Well, I'm going to go get this other one, right?
Totally. Yeah, there's that too. But sometimes, especially depending on what kind of strategy you've built up for yourself, that may not be the best plan, because you may have something planned and then all of a sudden you're like, well, no, he's going after that one I was planning on getting later. Switch gears, you know?
Right.
So turn order is really important in this game.
Yeah.
For a lot of different reasons. That one being the key one. We like this game a lot. We got the little extra cool Meeple Source little pizzas and sodas and all that kind of fun stuff. It's
what have you done?
Adorable. I know. This was strategically packed to all fit in here. It'll never come out again. What you saw was a one-time event. As you can see, this is jam-packed. One thing... Oh, I gotta show this, though. This is pretty cool.
A little accordion?
Yeah, was this an extra thing?
Yes.
Okay. There's an extra thing you can buy that... Oh, wow. So good. This is a table hog. But what helps it is this cute little accordion that... Where did you buy this from? Was
the
it...
Board Game Geek store.
Board Game Geek store has this, okay? It's
Or
awesome.
I don't know if they have it
yeah. And it's an accordion, and it's got the names of the cards. So you can stack all the cards up here on this accordion instead of laying them out in some god-awful pile on your table. This is so much nicer. And we magically figured out, I should say Hunter Tetris this in. It fits! Barely, but it fits! Yes, get it. If you like playing this game a lot, save your table, save yourself. Get the accordion. No, it's pretty cool. This is a fun game. Really fun game. It's heavy. And there is a learning curve to it.
Yeah.
We made the mistake the first time we played about not looking carefully at the map, and there's some strategy with the roads and how the restaurants versus your houses are located and this and that. And you can paint yourself into a bit of a corner if the roads are funky.
This is very punitive to new players. It really... Yeah, this is the type of game... I mean, a lot of Splotter games are like this, and a lot of people despise Splotter games for this reason. You can lose this game on the first turn.
You could.
You could play the first turn and go, I can't win. Now, that's kind of an exaggeration, but yeah. Like on the game that we played the first game, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Rebecca chose her location for her restaurant, and she was further away from every single house than I was.
Yeah, we didn't.
And distance is part of the calculation on where the people go to buy their food. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's a great game. It's awesome. It's a bear to teach. It's a long game. It's very punishing. It's very cutthroat.
But it's rewarding too as you start mapping all this out and
that is fun. It's
planning your routes. It's all about.
Sounds like a horrible game, but I can understand what you're saying about the heavier games. As of late, you've been I don't know if daunting's the right word, but pulling out a heavy game is a little bit more difficult to do. When the summer rolls around, that changes.
Yes,
but during the school year,
I'm fried. I'm like, I'm done. I want to play something light.
It's hard to get the heavier games to the table.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But if you're gonna pick a heavy game and you haven't tried a Splotter, this one I think is a good one to start with. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, maybe.
I like it.
I think there's lighter ones, maybe.
Oh, there may be, but I think the theme with that one's more interesting.
It's my 30, so you again are.
Why do I like you again? No, just.
Well, it's funny. We talked before this video. It seems like always the bottom, third of her list is. It's like the ones. A lot of my favorites are on the bottom third of her list.
I don't plan this to be trollish. I promise I don't. I went through and did this all independent. Okay, maybe you'll be happier with this one.
Maybe.
My 94 is new.
New.
It's new, and I honestly cannot wait to play it again because I find it strangely addicting, and I'm like intrigued, and I want to try different races and things because it's Sidereal Confluence. So this game has a little bit of pit in it. But you've got all these alien races, and they have unique trades and desires and wants and needs and all this kind of good stuff, right? So they have certain goods that other people might want, and they vice versa, okay? In the middle of all this building and engine building and whatnot, you've got a trading session that is very akin to a quick game of pit. Where you're screaming for resources and stuff. You kind of have a time frame, and everybody's scrambling to get all the resources, so when you're done, hopefully you have something to work with your engine to build up for the next round. It's really cool. At first, it kind of blew my mind a little bit because it's way more complicated than Pit. Everybody's got their own unique systems, engines. The races are it's all asymmetrical. So the learning curve on this is huge because and everyone, I think, but you, when we first played that was new, right?
Correct.
So Hunter had to go around and we had to explain everybody's race and kind of help everybody figure out what everyone's doing so that we understood how best to trade with them and how best they can trade and work too. So that part of it was almost a slog at first. We're like, wow, they're so unique. But then when you finally get into the game and start using it, it's fun, it's addictive, and it's longer. It says 120 minutes, and that was probably right because I'm pretty sure we played with 6.
We played with, I want to say 5 people.
Okay.
6.
I thought it was 6.
May have been 6, yeah.
But yeah, so it took a while. It took a while to play it.
Probably 3 hours. But
that was with the learn and everything too.
And learning,
yeah, with all of that learning and stuff. But the play itself was probably about right on the 120 minutes, and I really want to play it again.
Yeah, about halfway through the game, all the light bulbs start popping off on everybody. It's like, I know how this works. Yeah. I understand what's going on.
And I want to go through and try the other races more. I want to I want to go through and actually beat each of the races now and see what's different, what you like, and pick my favorite and all that kind of good stuff. So it's really fun. If I don't even know how to sell this game because it's kind of heavy, but if you really like the engine building and a little bit of frantic trading in the middle, I think you would really get into it. It's a very unique game. I like it. I think it's only going to grow, to be completely honest. So we'll see.
Yeah, we need to get this played again.
We do.
This is my 60.
Really? Okay. I could see it going up. I really could. I mean...
Yeah, almost everyone universally said they wanted to play it again. And of course, we haven't played it again.
No, we haven't had the chance to. Yeah, we need to.
The resolution killed all that replaying games
it's rough.
thing.
It's rough. It's rough. All right. So for my number 93, I actually do not have a copy of this game.
What? A game you do not own?
I like it so much, I might want to find a way to make this game someday.
Steal it from somebody.
I'd have to steal it from BGG because that's the only place I know where I've ever seen it. It is a crazy, wacky game called Piraten Billard.
Oh, jeez, that made your list. That is hilarious.
I always forget about it because it's a game we don't own, but we've played it for 2 years now, and every time we go play this, we have a ball.
Is this a game? Is this a game or an activity?
This is a game.
Okay.
You got competitive and you know it. So I think it's 2 to 4 players. Every time we've played it, it's been with, I think you and I played a 2-player once.
Right.
But we usually play it with 4, and it gets rowdy. So everyone, it's a big square. It looks like a mini table, okay? But on the top of it, and it's all made out of wood, but the top, it's gridded, and then it's got cloth underneath the grid. So, and you've got these long sticks. They almost look like the old school pipes.
Yeah.
But the stick's yay long, and then it's got a little knob on the end of it. And you use it to go underneath the table, and you have to pop the balls, and you're moving them across the board in almost like a checkers-like kind of game. Because you can jump over other people's balls and steal them, or you can go and basically once you land on their side, you get a point. So it's very checkers-esque. But it's got this dexterity element to it that's a little bit roguish because there's some challenge when it's really close to the edge. You can really manipulate it. It's close, and you can feel where the little hammer part is under the ball, and it's really easy to maneuver it. But once it's in the middle of the board, you're holding on the end of your stick, so it's this far away from you, and you have to hope that you're right underneath that ball. You can't quite see it very well because the table's just big enough. And you'll hit that, and sometimes your ball will do some amazing thing, and yay, you scored, or you captured someone else's piece. Awesome. Another time it goes flying in some random direction, and then you lose a point and the ball because it went off the table. People are diving for cover because you almost hit them. It's been hilarious. We have had, like, belly laughs every single time we've played this game, and it is so much fun. I really want to build that game.
That's funny.
I want to find that game. It's just hilarious. And it's just this spindly little table thing about, like, what, yay tall probably?
Yeah, it's about maybe...
It's just tall enough
2.5 feet, something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. And then you got, like, a little dowel with the little hammer piece on the end of it. And part of it's pointed so you can be a little more strategic, and the other end of it's like a hammer. It's like got a wide end and a narrow end, so you can, I don't know. I'm sure there's people that are like Piraten billiard sharks that can, like, pick the right one. It's like choosing the right club for golf. And, you know.
I don't know if there's any sharks
Oh,
out there.
yeah, you know. Hey, you say this, but, you know, there's probably some underground Piraten billiard, like, world championship we don't know about.
Probably.
Check YouTube,
That's
guys.
funny.
But that game, it's so funny. And it's always in the middle of BGG. If you ever go to BGG, either spring or the fall, they always have that big middle area that's chock full of the dexterity games. And it's always in there. So you have to look around for it. It's just
funny.
sitting
I'm shocked
there.
that this would make my list, obviously.
It's hilarious.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. I love this game.
That's funny.
Yeah. So,
Huh. But you do like this game a lot. You laugh every time you play.
Oh, yeah, it was just me. I'm
I
the
don't
only one
laugh.
laughing. I laugh maniacally while everyone... Yeah, right. You're hysterical. Somebody gets a little competitive. It's hilarious. I love it.
Hey, you do pretty good at this game.
Yeah, you do. And I'm either really good at it or abysmal. So it's exciting to see which game it's going to be.
That's funny. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So, see, it was very helpful that you helped me pick those games that we don't own this year, because I'm seeing some of this stuff pop up and I'm like, oh yeah, this needs to be on the list. So, moving on. This one's a bit of a... I don't know. This one shocked me a little bit. It's my number 92 this year. Last year it was my 36.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Punitation!
Yeah, it was punished. It was punished.
What just happened?
It's my boy. It's my buddy Feld.
What just happened?
You know what I think it is? As far as Feld goes, I like his heavier stuff usually. The stuff I really like tends to be heavier. And when we went and revisited this game during the resolution, I really liked the multi-purpose cards. I really enjoyed that. But I forgot I don't really like the in-town stuff in this game.
Oh, the going up the little...
Building the little...
Canals.
The canals and stuff.
And going up the little prestige track, or what do they call
for
it?
me the prestige track is almost a distraction.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I was like, I like this game and I really love it and I still play it a lot. But compared to how I've liked, like, in his other games, and you will see more of Feld, don't worry. Yeah, no one's surprised. Don't be surprised. But this one has dropped as one of my top games to one of my lesser games that I like of his. I like about half of the game. Like, the other half, again, the stuff on the main board, I'm just like, I like playing with the cards and the multi-purpose cards and making those choices. They're really good cards. But, I don't know.
But one of the purposes of the cards is to do stuff on the board.
I know, and I don't like that part. I'm just like, I'd rather play with the other stuff that's in front of me. I like all that. And so I was like, I feel like I'm avoiding half of the game.
What's funny is I agree with you, because it went from my 50 to my 88.
Well, so it didn't drop as much as mine, but it did drop quite a bit.
Yep.
So, you give me grief, and then you're like, I agree with you. Such a troll.
That is a very strong word.
Agree?
Agree is a very strong word.
You did say it.
I commiserate with you. Is that?
It's basically the same thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, gosh, whatever. Interesting. All right. And last but not least, of course, because we still have, 90 more games to go and stuff. But my 91 for today also dropped, because I told you that a bunch of them dropped. This dropped from my 49.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And I'm struggling to figure... I don't know that we got it played.
I don't know what the game is. I can't tell you.
You lied. You looked.
I can't see it. It's
Oh,
outside.
you can't? I tried that. Yokohama.
I don't think we played it.
I don't think we got to play it. And I have a feeling that's why I punished it a little bit. Because if you've watched some of our stuff in the past, I've railed about the art in this. I'm not crazy about the art. I don't like the art in this.
It's beautiful art.
No, it's not. It is boring. But
It's beautiful. Look how beautiful it is.
eventually, the amazing gameplay in this game kind of won me over. But it took several plays because I was like, this art. I don't like looking at this, playing a 90-minute game, staring at this ugly...
It's beautiful.
No. And is this the game? This has Mr. Fancy Pants in it, doesn't it? Is this Mr. Fancy
I
Pants?
don't know if this has fancy pants or not.
Well, we played the deluxe version the first time we
Yes.
played. I don't know if our guy...
I don't think we have a fancy pants.
We have the guy that moves through the board. Hunter and I named Mr. Fancy Pants. And you'll see why if we have him.
I don't think we
gotta
have him.
find him.
I think that's in the
deluxe version. But it's a little dude and he's all dressed up and
No,
he
we
has...
just have a little pawn guy.
Oh, he's boring. No wonder. See, look, I'm not even entertained with Mr. Fancy Pants. This is the nonsense we do to amuse ourselves during heavy games. But he helps determine moves and this and that. And how you move on the board. The way you move around on the board's really cool. You kind of leave like little breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Where you go, and so you have to plan ahead where you want to go, and you have to, if someone overlaps your path, you're going to be paying extra to pay them. I guess you're bribing them to share the space. I don't know. Sounds like got a bunch of bullies on the board, but anyway, it's really cool. I like the engine with this game. It kind of reminds me of a heavy Istanbul in the way you move, but it's similar but different. That made no sense unless you've played both those games, but just bear with me. And it's also unique in how the board lays out. It's going to be different every time. So it's it's modular like Istanbul, so you're putting all these different things together. So the combinations are going to be different every time you play. You've got this kind of like pre-mapping of where you're going to move like Istanbul. The dang art's just ugly, though.
Beautiful.
No, I'm sure somebody out there loves it. That's great. Good for you. I'm glad you like it. I, however, don't. And we haven't played it in a while, so the more I look at this board game cover, the more I'm like, it's now my 92.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. It's still my 91. But, I don't know. With more plays again, I'll be like, wow, this game is awesome. I want to play it again. Let's throw down. So it may bounce back somewhere in there. We'll see.
Yeah, this is my 68. What I like about this game, I don't know, you kind of touched on it. Mm-hmm. It takes... For a 90-minute game, this may be one of our heaviest 90-minute games.
It really is.
It takes a really heavy Euro and truncates it down to 90 minutes.
It's impressive. It really is. I mean, this is an elegantly designed game. And that's really why it stayed on my list, even though I really don't like looking at it. But it's just really well designed.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you get the deluxe version so you can at least play with Mr.
They only did the deluxe version temporarily, and you can find it. It's just crazy expensive.
Find somebody that owns it and play it because it's really fun to play with Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yes. Yeah, instead of having a little pawn, you have a little...
Pawn's like... You know what? We should paint him. Yeah. We should paint a little mustache on our pawn.
You have a little dude, and one of the guys, I think, is a British dude, and he's got like a little, like a monocle and stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is hilarious. He doesn't have a top hat or something, too. Yeah, he kind of looks vaguely like the Monopoly guy a little bit. Yeah. But he's our Mr. Fancy Pants. So, there you go. Yokohama's my 91. Wow. So again, this was an odd set of 10 because it's like everything just was like, whew, what fell from last year, you know?
That's what usually happens. You got to make room for all the new games.
That's true. I do have quite a few new games. I haven't counted up my total yet. I'm saving that for like the end party and stuff to see how many new games I have. So I'll even be surprising myself when I look at this. But I can tell you, between the fact that I have games that I've played but not owned that somehow I missed last year, there's that, plus the new games that I just fell in love with, which there were some really good heavy hitters this year, really solid games that we played, that I probably have quite a few good games that weren't on here before. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we are much more thorough in making sure we got all the games you played on the list.
Yeah, and I'm really happy we did that because it just seems like this seems more like my list this year instead of, I forgot that too. This is, I feel like put an asterisk by it.
Yeah, because when we got to the end, I'm circling all the games.
Oh, he was giving me so much grief.
And there's several that you love that weren't on the list last year.
Yep. So, anyway, stay tuned because in a few days, my 90 through 81 will be up. What games will be on the list? Or are they there at all from last year? Did they disappear? Find out. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon. It's a cliffhanger.